Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the arrival of our guest of honor and speaker, Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., Officer in Charge, Department of National Defense. With him is Her Excellency Mary K. R. Carlson, United States Ambassador to the Philippines. General Andres C. Centino, Philippine Army, Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Admiral John C. Aquilino, United States Navy Commander, United States Indo-Pacific Command, Major General Marvin L. Locadini, Philippine Army, Philippines Exercise Director, and Lieutenant General William M. Journey, United States Marine Corps, United States Exercise Director. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthems of the Republic of the Philippines and the United States of America, to be followed by an invocation to be led by Colonel Daniel D. Tansip, Chaplain Service, General Staff Corps, the Chief Chaplain Service, AFP.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
In the depths and strength of this alliance of sovereign equals, let us worship God, the Almighty, the most merciful, and the most gracious provider, with the words of his Son, Jesus Christ, as written in John chapter 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken to you, that in me you might have peace. God is with us in every season of our life, and this is the promise that he had promised us, eternal life. Let us pray. Creator of life, the God of all times and all seasons, deep in our hearts, we profess our faith in your divine will that directs our history and destiny. So be pleased, O God, as we offer to you our sincere supplications for the successful conduct of these 38 iterations of exercise Balikatan. You, O God, who have established the sacred right and duty to protect the people, to defend the sovereignty and territory of every independent state, to balance the power of this life, and to sustain the needs of humanity. Now we humbly beseech you, God, to sanctify the intent of modernizing this alliance of nations, allies in the commitment to strengthening mutual capacities, in addressing common challenges, and widening multilateral security cooperation. In a special way, O God, we turn our prayers to shape the support of every Filipino regarding our nation's shared values of freedom, democracy, and human dignity. With your divine assistance, lead the building of goodwill to maximum effectiveness for peace, stability, and prosperity. With your risen Lord Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mabuhay. A pleasant afternoon to all. Today we hold the closing ceremony of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States Armed Forces Exercise, the Balikatan 38-2023. Today's occasion is graced by the Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr. as the guest of honor and speaker. Before we proceed with the program, I would like everyone direct your attention to the LED wall and TV screens for the audiovisual presentation of the Balikatan 38-23. Thank you very much. A big round of applause to all the participants.
Shoulder to shoulder, Balikatan Exercise 2023 is the 38th largest ever iteration of the exercise between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States Armed Forces.
This year's Balikatan exercise is most timely as we fast-track the enhancement of our capabilities for maritime security and domain awareness, as well as our employment concept of newly acquired equipment and weapon systems under our modernization program and application of newly developed doctrines with the end in view of projecting a credible defense posture.
Balikatan is an important opportunity to train shoulder to shoulder and build trust and confidence that enables our forces to respond to crisis and contingencies as a team.
The 18-day Balikatan exercise formally commenced on April 11, 2023 at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City, anchored on the theme, Coastal and Maritime Defense, along with a different line of efforts, to define command and control functions and strengthen interagency collaborations, to test deployment concepts of newly acquired capabilities under the AFP modernization program, to project a credible defense posture and enhance AFP's capabilities for cyber defense operations, including AFP communications, electronics, information systems, infrastructures, and processes. With over 17,500 combined troops from the AFP and the U.S. military, the annual bilateral exercise highlighted 4 major events that happened in different locations in the Philippines, mostly in Northern Luzon Command, Western Command, and Visayas Command Joint Operation Area. Command Post Exercise, Cyber Defense Exercise, Field Training Exercise, and Humanitarian Civic Assistance.
This year's Balikatan will be the biggest ever, an indication of the growth of our alliance and how it continues to evolve to meet our shared goals.
Indeed, the Balikatan exercise builds interoperability, enhances capabilities, and demonstrates mutual defense of the Philippines' sovereign territory, as well as remains of one of the best training opportunities to improve both military arms. With these, both forces, spirit of unity, professionalism, excellence, and camaraderie continue to live on.
Thank you very much. Once again, a big round of applause to all the Balikatan participants. As we now proceed with today's ceremony, we'll have the remarks from the exercise directors. Let us hear from the United States Exercise Director, Lieutenant General William M. Journey, United States Marine Corps.
Good afternoon, and welcome Secretary Galvez, Ambassador Carlson, General Centino, Admiral Aquilino, distinguished guests, general officers, fellow flag officers, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm, again, Lieutenant General Bill Journey. I'm the commander with U.S. Marine Corps Forces, and I am the U.S. Exercise Director for Admiral Aquilino, representing our Indo-PACOM joint forces, and it's an absolute honor today to have an opportunity to provide a few brief remarks here for our closing ceremony. First, I think we all know and understand and appreciate that hosting such a large and complex exercise is a lot of work. And I very much want to thank the government of the Republic of the Philippines, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Filipino people for their hospitality and unwavering support in allowing us to conduct the Balikatan exercise. On behalf of all of your visitors, thank you for inviting us to join you on your bases, on your training ranges, on your seas and your skies, and in your communities. We also understand and appreciate that the Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States and the Republic of the Philippines is more than just a piece of paper. It's a manifestation of shared values and our promise to uphold them. As a physical manifestation, this year's exercise was indeed the largest iteration of Balikatan in almost 4 decades of its history. While we stand shoulder to shoulder in the exercise as allies should, we don't stand alone, as this year's exercise included 17,000 plus participants and observers. I believe we come out of the exercise more capable than when we arrived, better able to develop and employ a full range of capabilities when confronted with challenges, and acutely aware of what is required to operate in a multi-domain environment. You know, I personally believe you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Today, I know we are better. So enjoy the satisfaction that comes from a job well done. But remember, tomorrow will certainly bring yet another set of new challenges for us. And in order to prevail, we'll have to earn this feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment yet again. Our commitment to doing so is the mark of true professionals. I thank you for your hard work, your desire and commitment to excel, and your professionalism. We end Balikatan 2023 better prepared to respond to challenges in the Philippines and across the Indo-Pacific region. And I can tell you, I, for one, I'm very proud to stand with you shoulder to shoulder. Semper Fidelis, good day, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Philippines Exercise Director, Major General Marvin L. Licudine, Philippine Army, will now deliver his remarks and subsequently recommend for the closing of Balikatan 38-2023.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Before anything else, may I have the privilege to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guest for this afternoon. To our guest of honor and speaker, and the officer in charge of Department of National Defense, Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., sir. The U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Her Excellency Mary Kay Carlson, ma'am. General Andres C. Centino, the Chief of Staff, AFP, sir. Admiral John C. Aquilino, the Commander, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, sir. We have Undersecretary Pedro Cesar C. Rambuanga, the Executive Director for Presidential Commission on the Visiting Forces Agreement, sir. Her Excellency Hei Kyong Yu, the Australian Ambassador to the Philippines, ma'am. The Secretary Enrique Manalo, represented by Mr. Gunter Sales. To my counterpart, the U.S. Exercise Director and Commander of the U.S. Marine Forces Indo-Pacific, Lieutenant General William Journey, sir. Lieutenant General George Smith, the Commander of 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, sir. Major General J. Bargeron, the Commander 3rd Marine Division. We have Major General Jeffrey Van Antwerp of the U.S. Army 25th Infantry Division. The Joint Staff AFP headed by Lieutenant General Charlton C. Gerland, the TDCS AFP. We have the Lieutenant General Romeo S. Browner, the Commanding General, Philippine Army. Lieutenant General Stephen P. Pareño, the Commander, Philippine Air Force. Vice Admiral Toribio D. Adasi, the 4th Philippine Navy, sir. Major General Arturo G. Rojas, Commander SOCOM. Rear Admiral Alfonso F. Torres, the Commander NETDC, where the live fire happened, sir. Commodore Alphonse Pin Tumanda, the Commander, Naval Installation Command, Navy. Brigadier General Yodevic G. Ginit, the Commander, 1st Brigade Combat Team. Commodore Marcos E. Imperio, Commander SASAP for our communications. Brigadier General Arvin R. Lagamon, Commander CRS AFP. Brigadier General Leo Fontanilla from the Air Defense Command. And we have Colonel Walter T. P. Aikero from the Cyber Group AFP. Also, we have here the guest under the International Observers Program, headed by Colonel Paul Barta. Please stand up to be recognized. Thank you, sir. All exercise Balikatan AFP and U.S. Indo-Pacific Command participants, other officers, enlisted personnel, civilian human resource, and guests present. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon and welcome to the closing ceremony of the Philippines United States Exercise Balikatan 2023. The largest Balikatan to date was successfully conducted with a series of exercises that tested and applied existing principles, which has also developed new ideas for doctrine developments from both the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the U.S. Armed Forces to further strengthen security cooperation and interoperability between allies. As the exercise director, I would say that we have achieved the year's exercise goals with excellence. Kindly give a round of applause to everyone. And that the AFP and the U.S. Armed Forces have raised the level of competence working in a joint, combined environment. The exercise also focused on improving AFP capabilities for maritime security and domain awareness. And we were also able to test newly acquired equipment and weapon systems under the AFP's modernization program. Moreover, the Balikatan also served as a learning opportunity, especially for the AFP to enhance skills, knowledge, and expertise of our soldiers corresponding to different tactical situations in order to protect and preserve our territory and better serve the Filipino people. In behalf of the Philippine Exercise Directorate, I would like to express my deepest gratitude for yet another opportunity for us, the AFP, to undergo rigorous training and skills and capability training with our allies. With this, I recommend for the Philippines United States Exercise Balikatan 38 2023 be closed. I look forward to seeing you again on the Philippine-US Balikatan 39 2024. Congratulations, magandang hapon, and mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you, sir. The Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Andres C. Centeno, Philippine Army, will give his remarks and subsequently declare the closing of the Philippines United States exercise Balikatan 38-23.
Secretary Galvez, Ambassador Carlson, Admiral Aquilino, Ambassador Yu of Australia, fellow soldiers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon sa ating lahat. As the 38th exercise Balikatan comes to close, I am reminded that we held the opening ceremony last April 11, 2 days after our commemoration of the heroism of those who fought in Bataan 81 years ago. The Day of Valor reminded us not only of the bravery and patriotism of both the Filipino and American soldiers who fought side by side to defend our motherland, but also pointed the way forward in strengthening our partnership through the decades. The success of our latest joint activities clearly affirmed that we have learned our lessons well, as we are as resolute as ever in our commitment not just to cooperate, but to work side by side and train shoulder to shoulder to promote peace and stability. Balikatan Exercise 38-2023 is not only the biggest in terms of number of participants, it also marked a lot of firsts. The first literal live fire exercise, which was attended by our Commander-in-Chief, the first coastal defense live fire, the first time to launch the Patriot missile in the Philippines, the first cyber defense exercise, the first time exercises were held in multiple venues, and the first time that another long-standing ally, Australia, joined the exercise. Indeed, these many firsts stamped this 38th Balikatan exercise as an unprecedented success. The strong results of the exercise and the robust relationship among like-minded allies are made more significant given the current security environment and the real threats that continue to evolve within the region. It is evident that all our exercise goals were met and achieved, which contributes greatly to our escalated effort to build a credible defense posture. We believe that sustained training with our allies and widening the scale of interoperability among our militaries are the most effective ways to achieve this over the short term. As we learn from history, we would rather have friends and allies to work, train, and defend with us rather than defending alone. In unity and synergy, we are definitely stronger. Likewise, let me also highlight the participation of our allies, the international observers from Japan, from Korea, from India, from France, from United Kingdom, from Canada, and from Australia. We hope that the International Observers Program provided insights on interoperability and combined operations, as well as enabled the exchange of ideas and best practices, which would be useful in our future joint efforts. We look forward to your continued support and participation in similar endeavors. On behalf of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, I express my appreciation to the steering committee, to all the planners, organizers, evaluators, observers, and participants of this Balikatan Exercise 38-2023. In particular, we're grateful for the exemplary work of our counterparts in the United States, led by Lieutenant General William Journey, and our very own Exercise Director, General Marvin Licodini, for their able supervision of the conduct of the exercises. And to all our participants, every soldier, airman, sailor, and marine from all the participating countries, we salute your performance and your attitude as you achieve the end goal of all our major events. Thank you for your hard work and support. And as the Chief of Staff AAP, I now declare the Balikatan Exercises 38-2023 closed. Mabuhay ang sandathang lakas ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, sir. We shall now witness the furling of the Balikatan flag. The exercise directors are requested for the furling of the Balikatan flag. May we request everyone to please stand for the furling of the Balikatan flag. A big round of applause, please. Thank you. You may now be seated. Commander, Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral John C. Aquilino will deliver his message.
Aloha. Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be back in the Philippines. I'm delighted to be able to be here today with my partner, General Centino, and such a wonderful group of experienced professional officers to execute Balikatan and close the ceremony successfully. Secretary Galvez, thank you, sir. I deeply appreciate the friendship, the partnership, the hospitality of the people and of the government of the Philippines. Thank you, sir, very, very much. General Centino, it's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for having me back. And it was critical, your leadership, to execute this complex, multinational, combined, joint exercise is noteworthy, and it could not have been done without your leadership. Thank you for that. Ambassador Carlson, always good to come back. Thank you very much for having me, and it's always good to see you, as always. To the flag officers, exercise directors, distinguished guests, and as General Centino said, to the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and Guardians who executed the most complex exercise, over 17,000 individuals to include live fires, humanitarian assistance. My hat is off to you for some amazing professional work that strengthened the alliance and brought together like-minded nations to show what right looks like when we can operate together. Now, I go back to my partner, General Centino. This is not easy to pull together what he did here. It was done with all the hard work and help and support from everyone in the audience, but without the leadership and vision, it doesn't get done. Over 17,000 partners, 11 partner nations. And my belief is next year it will be even bigger. So I thank you always. The command post exercise strengthened our ability to command and control, interoperability, and execution of complex operations. Could not have been done without this group. Humanitarian assistance, civic projects. General Centino highlighted all of the hard work and the dedication with regard to our war-fighting expertise. But I also want to note that it featured 3 critical engineering projects that focused on the construction of 2 health clinics and community multipurpose halls. That gets done here by you. The integration of our strong bilateral ties and a robust security network of like-minded nations is evident by those who are in the crowd. And it's good to see all of the partners from Australia, Canada, Japan, Korea, and whoever else I missed out there, 11 of you. That group of nation comes together always to deliver one thing, and that is a like-minded set of focused areas to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific that enables prosperity, stability, and peace for all of our nations. I thank you all for participating. Again, I'm extremely grateful to be here. Every time I come back, again, I'm more honored, I make more partners, and I always make more friends. It's incredible the work that has been done here. I thank again my Filipino partners. I thank the people of the Philippines. I thank the leadership of the Philippines. Secretary Galvez, thank you always. General Centino, thank you always. And to all of the partners, let's do this again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Her Excellency Mary Kay R. Carlson, United States Ambassador to the Philippines, will now deliver her message.
Good afternoon. Secretary Galvez, General Centino, Admiral Aquilino, my colleague, Ambassador Yu from Australia, distinguished guests, thank you all very much for having me here this afternoon to mark the closing of Exercise Balikatan 2023. The successful conclusion of the 38th iteration of Balikatan marks a milestone in the U.S.-Philippine alliance. As the previous speakers have mentioned, over 17,000 U.S. and Philippine troops, along with forces from Australia, have been exercising shoulder to shoulder together with observers for weeks, increasing our capability to work together on land, at sea, and in the air. Philippine and U.S. forces also completed multiple humanitarian projects to improve infrastructure, enhance medical response, and strengthen ties with local communities. This year's Balikatan saw several innovations that show the evolution of our alliance. In addition to being unprecedented in terms of size, our forces also introduced cyber and space elements into the exercise scenario, showing that our 7-decade-old alliance is constantly evolving to address 21st century challenges. In the past few years, we've seen more threats to this region than we have seen in the past several decades combined. These include challenges to the rules-based international order via provocations in the South China Sea, as well as global issues like climate change, environmental degradation, and water scarcity. The Philippines is our oldest treaty ally in East Asia and the very largest recipient of our security assistance in the Indo-Pacific region. The U.S.-Philippine alliance plays an irreplaceable role in addressing all of these threats. When you look at Southeast Asia, from geography to demographics to the economy, you can see that what happens in the Philippines is critical to what happens in the Indo-Pacific and across the globe. Our shared resolve to address threats together, embodied in our treaty alliance, is one of the pillars of the U.S.-Philippine relations. We are also partners, working together to address challenges such as job creation, technological innovation, and environmental sustainability. The economic ties between the United States and the Philippines have created hundreds of thousands of high-quality jobs for Filipinos. The United States is the Philippines' largest export market. American investments here have also helped grow important sectors of the economy across Luzon, the Visayas, and also in Mindanao. Our close economic partnerships improve lives and create opportunities for individuals, families, and communities in both of our countries. We are also partners in addressing developmental challenges. Since 1961, the U.S. Agency for International Development and the rest of the United States government has invested nearly 290 billion pesos to support Philippine development priorities. And of course, undergirding our partnership and our alliance is the deep bond of friendship, which I know President Biden will reaffirm when he meets with President Marcos in just a few days in Washington, D.C. This friendship is built on bonds of family and community, which go back generations. Our friendship creates opportunities, something we saw happen here during Balikatan. For our many Filipino American service members, it was the opportunity to enjoy a homecoming and reconnect with their roots. And for many other service members, it was the opportunity to interact with our Filipino counterparts and experience the amazing Filipino hospitality and learn about the richness of this wonderful culture. Whether their connections with the Philippines are new or old, our service members who participated in this exercise depart with a deeper sense of the special bond of friendship between the peoples of our two countries. To everyone who participated in the planning and the execution of Balikatan, service member and civilian, thank you for doing your part to advance our shared goal of ensuring a free and open and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. The successful completion of an exercise with the scope and complexity of Balikatan is an incredible accomplishment and a testament to the strength of the U.S.-Philippine alliance. And I know before, in a meeting just earlier, somebody talked about how this is a 3-week exercise. It started on April 11th. And I know for a fact it's actually 24/7, 365 days of the year. The minute this one closes, you furl up that flag, you go back into the planning of the next one. And that is what our service members, through the partner services and also the U.S. and the Philippines, that's the commitment that you have to the protection of the people of both of our countries. And for that, as the U.S. ambassador here, let me express on behalf of the people of the United States and the U.S. government our sincerest appreciation for everything that you do. So again, to all service members, thank you for your commitment, for your service, and for your sacrifice. Maraming salamat and mabuhay. Thank you.
Thank you. The guest of honor and speaker, Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., Officer in Charge, Department of National Defense, will now deliver his message.
Her Excellency Mary Kay Carlson, the Ambassador of the United States of America, His Excellency SKU, Madam, General Centino, General Quirino, other distinguished guests, our major services present here, field commanders, our distinguished friends, participants of this largest BK 2023, friends, peace partners, and allies for regional and global peace and security, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone who have made the 38th Philippine-United States Exercise Balikatan 2023 a resounding success. Let's give the participants and all of us a round of applause. I have been with the Balikatan, but I think this is the best and the most outstanding. Congratulations, General Centino. Congratulations, Sir Aquilino. In keeping with the exercise objectives, it has effectively enhanced interoperability and participating troops' capabilities, demonstrated undertaking for the defense of the Philippine sovereign territory, and assured the protection of peace, stability, and security in the Indo-Pacific region. This year's Balikatan exercise is no ordinary iteration. It has set many historic firsts, as the Chief of Staff has said. Aside from being the largest exercise so far, with around 17,767 participating troops, it consisting of 12,107 Americans 5,469 Filipinos, and for the first time, 111 Australian troops from our friends. It was also the first to feature live fire exercises in carefully selected areas, which I was privileged to witness along with the President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the AUP. The last time that the President saw the Balikatan exercises is during the time of President Aquino in 2012. It's been 12 years that we have been visited by the President. And we are very, very fortunate that the President stayed very long during the exercise. As one of the premier military exercises in the region, Exercise Balikatan 2023 featured command post exercise, the cyber defense, field training, and the humanitarian civic assistance, even highlighting the importance of heightened stakeholders' engagement and community support, particularly in times of calamities and disasters. In chosen sites such as Sarat, Ilocos Norte, Baler, Aurora, Rizal, Palawan, and Sibalong, Antique, the joint exercises included cooperative health engagement, civil affairs, and community relations. Also cognizant of both parties' efforts is to advance gender and development by ensuring gender equality, women empowerment, and inclusivity. Gender advisorship was among the activities. This 38th iteration of the Balikatan has expanded significantly the scope of the International Subservice Program, or IOP, that aims to showcase select joint and combined Balikatan events, which serve as a jump-off point for expanding our major exercise into a multilateral engagement. We also support the bilateral strategic messaging efforts and promote greater diverse defense engagement with key security partners. The participation of military contingents of sovereign nations is an explicit demonstration of solidarity for peace and stability in the region. Among those who sent their observers were from Vietnam, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Brunei, and from non-ASEAN countries such as Japan, the Republic of Korea, India, France, United Kingdom, and Canada, and especially Australia. Indeed, the attendance of these countries during the exercise is a testament that the U.S. and the Philippines are not alone in firmly espousing peace, security, and cooperation based on time-honored principles of mutual respect for the establishment of international laws and rule-based order. As the Defense Chief of the Republic of the Philippines, I am very grateful for the opportunity for the AFP to enhance its capabilities through this long-standing partnership. The AFP has boosted the capability on its ground, air, and naval forces for external defense operations and maritime security awareness in congruence with the lines of effort of the Mutual Defense Board and Security Engagement Board, or MDB-SCB. In particular, the Armed Forces of the Philippines was able to clearly define its command and control functions with the U.S. counterparts and significantly strengthen interagency collaboration. Likewise, the Armed Forces of the Philippines was able to test various employment concepts of newly acquired capabilities under the AP Modernization Program while enhancing its capabilities for cyber defense operation to include the AP Communications, Electronics, and Information System, infrastructure, and processes. Meaning, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is the main beneficiary of this, and we thank our partners, the U.S., and also our partners from like-minded countries. Needless to say, these gains for the Armed Forces of the Philippines increase security cooperation with the United States, including the vigorous and sustained implementation of the Enhanced Defense Security Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, are intended to further develop and strengthen our troops' capabilities. This would not only enable the Armed Forces of the Philippines to protect and defend the Philippine territory, sovereign rights, and sovereignty, but also enable to contribute significantly to peace and stability in the region and fulfill its global obligation as a responsible member of the international community. Thus, I tip my hat off to the indefatigable team behind this year's exercise Balikatan, both from the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the U.S. Indo-PACOM Command, specifically Lieutenant General William M. Journey, thank you, sir, of the U.S. Marine Corps, and Major General Melvin Licudini of the Philippine Army, our hardworking course director for planning, preparing, and staging this Philippine-U.S. Defense Cooperation and milestone. Thank you. Consequently, I convey my profoundest gratitude to the U.S. government, represented by Her Excellency, Madam Mary Kay Carlson, the U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines. Madam, thank you very much for entertaining our President during our Balikatan live fire. Thank you, ma'am, for really being there. And also Admiral John C. Aquilino, the commander of U.S. Indo-PACOM Pacific, for their commitment and support to our defense and security alliance. Rest assured that the Philippines will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the United States of America in defending our cherished democratic values and in working towards the peace, stability, and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific region for generations to come. As I have said, our alliance is very alive. It's very strong, ironclad, in a hyperdrive. To American contingents and other foreign observers, we hope you have a productive and meaningful stay in the Philippines, albeit backbreaking activities. Be safe and well on your journey back home. To the Filipino contingent, isang taus-pusong pagsaludo mula sa inyong One Defense Team. Thank you very much. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Armed Forces of the Philippines. Mabuhay ang ating mga partners. Thank you very much and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your message. At this point, General Centino, Chief of Staff, AFP, will present the memento to the guest of honor and speaker. May we request our guest of honor and speaker, sir, to please stand. A big round of applause, please. We would like to request our distinguished guests on stage for the group pictorial. Sirs and ma'am, you'll be having two poses. Once again, we would like to request our distinguished guests on stage for the group pictorial. Sirs and ma'am, you'll be having two poses. First pose, please link your arms, which is called the friendship way. Thank you. Second pose will be the crossing of hands as you hold the hands of the persons beside you, which is called the handshake way. Thank you very much. Thank you. May we request our principals to have a group pictorial with our attendees. The audience are requested to link their arms. Second pose is will be the crossing of hands. Thank you very much. Please, please remain standing in place for the exit of official party. Once again, may we request everyone to please stand in place for the exit of the official party. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that concludes the closing ceremony of the Philippines-United States bilateral exercise Balikatan 2023. We would like to thank you all for your presence. Keep safe. God bless everyone and mabuhay. Everyone